that you're doing on purpose. Sing like a singing on key. Talk to the girl that intimidates you. Pretend that you're brilliant and charming. I said pretend that you're brilliant and charming. Hey!
Yes, everybody, welcome in. Later with Jason. So glad that you are tuned in. Band sounds great. Always getting us hyped. Way to go. Yeah,
I'm so glad they're tuned in, and you're tuned in, and we're tuned in.
And they're in tune.
In tune.
Both. Yeah, all
Someone
of it.
is.
Yes.
Someone's got to be.
Bo Counts, we're kind of wrapping up. It's a time for celebrations, right? Because we've got graduations happening. We've got weddings happening. It's kind of wedding
It's weird.
season.
Like this time of year, it's like kind of right in the middle of the year, but also feels like the end of a year.
It's so true.
You know, what is summer anyway?
I know.
Like we're in this transitionary period. You're right. Weddings are everywhere. Graduations are happening. People are going on vacations. Like it's this transformative time.
Weird amalgamation of a lot of things. But then I also feel like in Northwest Arkansas, we specifically feel the impact of when the students from the university gone.
It kind of just 35,000 people disappear.
Yeah.
And the town slows down and more things become sacred.
Yeah.
And you can breathe.
Silence.
And a little bit less traffic. And, you know, it's just, it's good.
Yes. What about for you at the bar? Does that affect you greatly over the summer?
Really.
No, not
Mainly
really.
because we're more for like locals and grown-ups, and you know the college kids aren't necessarily our who we cater to. So when they leave, it's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
You know, we feel like a lot more of the people are able to peek their head out and go, "Is it safe for us to come out?"
Yes.
And you know they come out and enjoy.
You know, we have you make cocktails on the show all the time, but you haven't made one in quite a while. I'm curious as to like, what's your go-to, or what would you encourage people go-to summer cocktail if they're coming to Pinpoint?
Man, I love a Collins. You know, like a Tom Collins. You can take a Tom Collins any direction. You know, generally you want gin, lemon, and some bubbles, right? And a little bit of sugar. But you can add flavors. You can add hibiscus. You can add, you know, raspberry or blueberry, whatever you want to do, and just like make it your own. And it's really good. I love a good rosemary Collins.
Yeah. Kicking back on the patio, maybe enjoying the sunshine, soaking it in.
Easy sipper.
Life is good as we transition into this
What do you
time.
got in here?
Yeah, not a Tom Collins.
What is this?
Yeah,
Health juice?
It's a little bit stronger than a Tom Collins. That's right. Let me tell you what we got on the show today. We got Amanda Horns visiting us from Crystal Bridges and the Momentary, talking about all of their exhibitions that they have happening. Also talking about their summer concert series there on the Momentary Green, which is amazing. We've got a music video filmed right here at Fayetteville Public Television as part of their Fayette Tunes series. Supermodel is going to be joining us later on the show. And then down there at our chef's table, we've got Dana joining us from Girls Gone Barbecue. What do you have for us down there?
We have 3 inclusive barbecue sandwiches.
Oh, barbecue. You know what? It is National Barbecue Month. That's what I heard.
Is it?
But every day is a National Barbecue Day.
I mean, it
in
should
my
be.
mouth.
And in my heart and in my stomach.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Stick around. We got all those interviews and more coming your way later. Yes, we've got celebrity historian Raffi Andonian joining us to talk about it is National Barbecue Month, which makes sense because you got Memorial Day coming up. Everybody's getting outside. We're grilling a bit more.
That's right.
And you brought a great spread. Hey, give us some history about barbecue. When did it become such a thing?
It starts with Christopher Columbus, believe it or not.
Really?
So when he came over, he actually landed in the Caribbean. He didn't land on the mainland when he first came. And in the Caribbean, he encountered indigenous peoples who were cooking with what we would call green wood, indirectly with moist wood, with indirect heat, with the indirect flame, which is what, you know, there's the origins of Southern barbecue, right?
And you think about a barbecue, when I think about barbecue, I think about the Carolinas, obviously. I think about Memphis big time because that's kind of close to us, and also close to us is Kansas City. I think those
That's
are the
right. So there's a great story of how we get to the Carolinas, to Kansas City and Memphis. So what happens is that you might think about pork as a primary thing as barbecue, right? Not quite in Texas, but as you kind of of go down south. The reason for that is Southerners would eat about 5-to-1 pork to beef. Part of the reason for that is beef takes a lot of space and pasture.
Sure.
You can let pork run wild. Well, when you let pork run wild, it's tougher meat. So to get it soft, that indirect heat helps it, right? So think about what happens in the South as they start to expand toward the West. You're going to get different styles that are going to happen. Now, one of the things that comes out is in Texas, you do get the beef because they have the space there.
Absolutely.
And the reason that matters to us in Kansas City is because in Kansas City, you get a hybrid of the Memphis style, which Memphis is a port city on the river and it's connected to the sugar economy. So you get that sweet barbecue sauce, right?
Sure,
it comes up the Mississippi River. So now in Kansas City, you get that hybrid. It was actually a Memphis guy that went up to Kansas City that introduced barbecue as we know it there. But you still have some of that Texas influence. So you'll get things like burnt ends there, which is a beef part with the Memphis style sweet barbecue sauce.
Bringing them together.
That's right. So
Two
Kansas City
worlds
has been called the Constantinople of barbecue.
And man, my mouth is watering thinking about it. I think we should dive into this. Do you have a favorite? I got to ask you a favorite style of barbecue before we go.
Absolutely. I love ribs most of all.
Okay.
And if you ask my favorite style, it's actually going to be Kansas City style.
KC, I love it. Awesome.
Because I love that hybrid and bringing it all together. That's the best. You got the best of all the different worlds.
I love it. Raffi, thank you for bringing this spread. Thanks for filling us in on a little bit of history around barbecue. And you stick around. I'm going to eat on this. We got more happening later. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We've got Amanda Horn from Crystal Bridges and The Momentary joining us. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's a busy season for you right now.
Oh my goodness, it is so busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for people, maybe give us an idea. You have so much programming going on that sometimes it can seem overwhelming.
It can.
What are some of the high points? What do we need to know about?
Yeah, I mean, I think the high point for Crystal Bridges this season is Exquisite Creatures. Exquisite Creatures, if people don't know out there, it is a phenomenal exhibition that is not really a conventional art exhibition. So Christopher Marley is the artist. It's all from a single artist. He really does think of himself first as an artist and a designer. But he's a naturalist, and he has this deep affinity for the natural world that comes through in this exhibition, which is comprised of specimens.
Yes.
Reclaimed specimens, everything from the wildest, coolest, most colorful beetles you've ever seen in your life to snakes.
Yes.
Ooh,
Snakes.
Giant snakes.
Yes.
Sharks.
Enormous sharks. It's beautiful. My family and I just went recently to take it all in. And not only was I enthralled, but my kids were too. And if I'm honest, sometimes when the exhibitions come through, the kids are like, whatever. But this one, man, they were engaged and loved it. I don't think it can be overstated how colorful they are.
So colorful.
Because sometimes you think about bugs or snakes or whatever, and you kind of think of, your earth tones. But these creatures are almost neon.
Yes, amazing. And that's what Christopher Marley does with his process. He doesn't add, he doesn't paint. In fact, I think when we opened it, I remember our board chair asking him, like, how did you paint these? And he was like, these aren't painted. It's using chemicals to bring out the natural colors in these creatures, which we just don't see because we don't spend a lot of time really deeply looking at them.
That's right. It's, one of the other things I love is this engagement factor, because when you walk in, there are pins that you can put on to let other people in the galleries know, hey, I love snakes, or I don't like snakes, or I'm a bug person, I'm not a bug person. And the reason for that is so that you engage maybe in conversation with people that you wouldn't normally interact with.
Yeah, it is so much fun. It's been a wonderful season so far, just watching people come from far and wide to partake in this delight. And it is a show that you'll want to come back to again and again. There's a lot in there.
There's so much in there.
Oh my goodness.
It's hard to take it all in.
It really is.
Bo, how do you identify? Would you say you are a snakes person? You're what kind of?
I like creepy crawlies. I spent a lot of time listening to David Attenborough explain to me the natural world. And I think if I went to that exhibit, I would use those stickers as a way to find out what creepy crawlies to really scare people with. It's I don't like spiders, and you walk behind one at the spider exhibit and go, ha! And I think that would be a lot of fun.
All right, switching gears a little bit, let's flip over to the Momentary side. You got a lot happening there. There's concerts. There's always an exhibition happening there as well. So fill us in on what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, so new exhibitions. Christine Potter, Dark Waters. It's photography based.
Yes.
Portraits based on murder ballads. Yeah.
Explain what murder ballads are for folks who are, because that sounds awful.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Well, it's a genre of music that, you know, she's based in Nashville, so it's really perfect to have that connection with sort of these ballads that pay homage, in this case, mostly to women.
Yeah.
So there is certainly a dark undercurrent, but she gives you an opportunity to really reflect. And I think she's taking a different perspective of like imagining these ballads come to life through film.
Sure.
So really a wonderful
Beautiful
exhibition,
photography.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then another photography and multimedia-based exhibition from a gentleman named Awal Arisku, who is just like, he is pop culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is, like if there's the famous picture of Beyonce
Yes.
that was taken, that was Awal.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of different kinds of work from him in the exhibition. So these two things will speak really nicely to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And Awal will be here
Yes.
soon,
Yeah.
June 1st.
Yeah.
June 1st is a big day for the Momentary.
Yes. Why is that?
Well, we're going to have activities all throughout the day, and also John Legend. John
big
Legend.
one. That's a big one.
Huge,
You're
major.
doing all of these kind of high-profile concerts on the Momentary Green
yes.
there.
Yes, we
That's
are.
got to be exciting.
Yeah, so Visual Arts Inside, and then the Green. You know, we opened the season with John Batiste, April 23rd.
Yeah.
What a delightful
Man,
evening.
he's amazing.
He's
We're
just
so fortunate
a genius. Yeah.
that he
Musical
came here.
genius.
Yeah.
So fortunate that he came here, and that really kicked off the season. And we've got, we've got teed up John Legend, of course, June
Yeah.
1st. We've got some more EDM shows with Cascade and Deadmau5.
Huge
We have
names.
country, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Yeah.
We've got Portugal the Man, Lake Street Dive, and others on tap to be announced really
Lake Street Dive is
soon.
one of my favorite. I love that you're kind of all genres. Like no one is safe. We're gonna have it
That's
all
right.
for you there at the Momentary.
That's right. And coming up super soon,
Yeah.
Fresh Grass.
Fresh Grass.
That's right.
Yeah,
Fresh
I know.
Grass.
That's gonna be a great one too.
Yes.
And you do that every year, and that just keeps raising the bar
It
every
does,
year,
yeah.
year in and year out.
Jason Isbell, Trampled by Turtles, Molly Tuttle and the Golden Highway,
Yeah.
Valerie June. I mean, really cool. And always with Fresh Grass, what's really lovely, there are pick and circles, there are fresh scores, compositions.
Yes.
Things get premiered there. There's a performative element because that's what the Momentary does.
I know, and I was just speaking to Troy Campbell from the House of Songs the other day, and I know that they are bringing artists here to kind of explore the Ozarks and then take their inspiration and put it into a song, and then the song is going to be featured on the stage there as well.
right.
So it's very cool.
Yeah, it's so cool to see the Momentary activated for these concerts.
You got the concert series, you have those exhibitions happening at the Momentary, obviously Exquisite Creatures happening over at Crystal Bridges, and we got to bring you back at some point to talk about the expansion because, oh my gosh, I feel like that's a whole thing we didn't even dive into
Yes.
that is so exciting for
Yeah.
Crystal Bridges.
Yeah, Splash Pad's opening soon at
Yeah.
the parking garage.
Yes,
So one
yes.
phase of expansion, people may not realize we built that super cool, fancy parking garage next
That's
to
right.
the
It's
Amazeum.
right next to the Amazeum. It's amazing. Splash pad, cafe, kind of that bottom level is going to have all kind of stores and things like that in it. So that's going to be great for our community. Where do people need to go? What's the website for people to check out all of these events?
crystalbridges.org, themomentary.org. You can get to both sites by going in one site. We are one big happy family.
One big happy family. That's it. Amanda, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Follow us on socials.
Yes, do. Stick around. We got more fun happening later.
chance. One more chance. One more chance. Just one more chance. Just one more chance and
Yeah, we're down here at the chef's table. Dana from Girls Gone Barbecue. Look at this amazing spread.
We've got grilled buns, we've got cheese, we've got scoopers.
Yes.
We've got nothing in my mouth yet, so
Not
there's
yet.
a problem.
And it smells
Almost.
great down here. Give us a little. Okay, so first of all, let's set it up. What are you going to make for us? What do you have here in front of you?
I
I heard
have.
inclusive.
Yeah.
It's inclusive barbecue.
What does that
So-
mean? Because I'm including all these in my mouth, but what does that
Well,
mean?
I feed meat eaters.
Okay.
I feed people with alpha-gal allergy, the alpha-gal syndrome, which I have as well. So that's when you're bit by
Explain that,
the
yeah.
yeah, it's when you're bit by a Lone Star tick and you
that's
become
right.
allergic to all mammals. So
Meats.
I actually have that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a separate chicken smoker just for people with alpha-gal. So we're gonna have a chicken sandwich, and then I also do vegan and vegetarian barbecue. And as Amanda was leaving, we talked about that too, because she was saying, "Oh, I can't come there because I'm a vegan." I was like, "Well,
Because
actually,
it's
you
not every
can.
day you think about, you're like, let's go get some barbecue, and your vegan friends are like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but you can.
But you can.
yeah, everybody can come."
Okay, so
Okay.
you also brought, what is this?
it's got a
This
fork
mac
in
and
it.
cheese?
Well,
So
I
I'm
heard
going,
that
yeah.
Bo likes to snack, so I
we
wanted
say
to,
that so that he'll start eating and then we can
That's
actually
pretty
have an
good.
interview.
that was my plan.
Yes.
Yeah, let's make a sandwich.
Yeah, let's put stuff together.
Okay,
What
well
we're gonna
let's start
with.
out. Let's start out with a pulled pork sandwich.
Okay.
And so I started back in about 2008. So I'm a self-taught pit mistress.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
so I started with ribs, and then I started with pulled pork. So that was my signature of what I started out with in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so
So what's your process? Just for this meat, for example. Did
Like
you
a slow
smoke
smoke,
it? Right.
or you?
oh yeah, it's a slow smoke. It's a slow smoke. It's about 12 hours. And then I like to pre-sauce the sandwiches.
Okay.
Well, I like to pre-sauce the pulled pork.
Yeah.
Because I want people to taste it the way that I want it to be tasted.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then it's also always Eastern Arkansas barbecue, so Delta barbecue.
Yeah.
And with that, we always grew up with a apple slaw on the
Oh, an
sandwiches.
apple slaw.
Okay, so
you
that's
put
what's
an apple
on the
slaw.
sandwich. All
So
right.
yeah, it's an apple slaw.
And you build it, you put that on the bottom, is that right?
I put that on the bottom.
Right.
It sits a little bit easier that way.
Okay.
So so Eastern Arkansas barbecue.
Okay, so we got that one. Now let's talk about the chicken option that you have as well.
Okay,
right?
so we have a chicken option, and this is for the alpha gal people
Right.
like me and all you other alpha gal people, because Arkansas is the #1 state with alpha gal syndrome.
And
Really?
chickens.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And there's
the two go hand in hand.
right, and so with alpha.
Did everybody get it? They go, we got to migrate to Arkansas.
No, don't. Then you're gonna get alpha gal.
Stay away.
So alpha gal, and there's a lot of there's alpha gal encouragers as well on Facebook.
Yeah.
And the help for people with alpha gal, a lot of information for that.
Great to raise awareness about that because I
Yes.
don't think a lot of people know about that and that can be a thing that affects a large number of Arkansans.
It is. It's on the rise.
Yeah.
I have a separate smoker for the chicken.
Okay, entirely separate than what you do for the beef, so people
yeah.
don't have to worry about those two proteins
Crossing.
getting
There's
mixed.
no cross contamination there.
Right.
So anyway, so this is a chicken sandwich, and it is done in our Cash River Kick spicy sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's got smoked serranos and toasted morito peppers.
Oh,
and
man.
then the pulled pork
Yes.
sandwich is sauced in the Delta Q.
Oh man.
Look at that.
So many flavors, and I love how tall they are.
I know.
It makes me feel good. You
Messy.
want to
I
smash that
You
down.
want to smash it. I
I
forgot
know.
my stabby.
That's
but
okay.
normally there's an okra stabby in there.
Okay, no, that looks great. Absolutely, very presentable.
And number 3.
And then
And number 3,
yeah.
and I don't normally use the same
Sure.
scoop at the shop, but this one is the soy curl sandwich. And so the soy curls, they are, whoops, I'm making a mess.
that's all right.
That's
You're good.
barbecue.
That's what
It went
barbecue's all
everywhere.
about. Yeah.
Help me get this off the table and
Man.
on there.
I'll get it right into my mouth.
Never
Get it
be
into your
clean and
mouth.
tidy.
Oh my gosh, that's delicious.
You wouldn't know
Yeah, I'm
that
gonna
they're not
reach in
meat, right?
And get
Yeah.
one of these soy curls.
Soy curl.
Okay.
How do you make that?
Wow.
Well, right? I
They're
know.
very flavorful.
They're great, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Hard to believe that
what?
is
That's so good.
Delicious as
my
it is.
mess.
That kind of
you're
blows
good.
me away a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
really, really yummy. I was you know, I kind of turn my like nose up a little bit
turn a little culinary
when I hear soy
connoisseur
corals.
nose up.
But I do
No,
like
they're
tofu
really-
and you know other things, and that's so good.
It's better than tofu, and a lot of people do jackfruit, but I think this is
That's way better.
It
That is, I agree.
resembles, I think, chicken.
Yeah, I agree. That's absolutely delicious. And all of these are on your menu?
All of these are on the menu.
Where are you located for people who haven't been out?
I'm at Mission and Crossover.
Yeah.
And the Walmart Neighborhood Shopping Center at Mission and Crossover.
Okay, that's great. And I also know that you do catering as well. Yes. How do people reach out about that?
Just go to-
How is it?
How do you like the soy curl sandwich, Bo?
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, it's awesome. I have so many vegans
This
and
took me by
vegetarians come
surprise.
in.
Yes.
Catering, yes.
Yes.
They can find me via the website,
Okay.
girlsgonebarbecue.com.
Yeah.
So, and
That's
just
the
reach
place.
out. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you for bringing us barbecue options.
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
y'all dig in
I'm
and
gonna dig
enjoy.
into this. Absolutely. Thank you for this. Stick around. We got more happening later. Yes, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can find us out there on your social media platforms or send us an email over at laterwithjasonsuel.com. And before we get out of here, we got to thank all of our amazing guests, including the one and only Amanda Horn. Thanks for being here, Amanda.
And of course, Dana from Girls Gone Barbecue coming up and bringing some tasty treats.
Yes, and how about that music video from Supermodel? That's our show. We'll see you later, alligator.
After Wild Crocodile.